What destroyed Israel was not the fact that their military was weak. What destroyed Israel
talk about it.
had nothing to do with the fact that their economy wasn't solid.
Talk about it.
Because they had some really good practices, and you got mugs in that thing that were empowered by God, that they were defeating armies.
I was about to say practices that came from God himself.
Yes.
It wasn't
The Lord
like,
said, let me tell you how to manage your finances.
They did not have a founding fathers that got together and put their brains on how this nation should be ran.
Right.
God himself told them how the nation should be ran. This is how I want you guys to handle economics. This is how I want you guys to treat each other. This is how I want you to treat foreigners.
Yes.
This is how I want you to do this. And it was a foreshadowing for what Christians should Christians should be doing, setting up for the kingdom of God. It was the promised land for them was a foreshadowing of heaven for us. So it was this is God himself was like, here's your constitution.
This is how it works.
Right.
And what destroyed them?
Here's the Bill of Rights.
It wasn't the weakness of the military. It was not the weakness of the economy. The weakness for them, what destroyed them, was their idolatry.
Amen.
And it was their idolatry that was being manifest in how they treated people.
And a lot of the times their idolatry came with adopting practices of who? The nation that they were in. Not necessarily. Yes. It wasn't them bringing God's ethics and principles to the nation more than it was them starting to trust in the nation's gods and then adopting them principles themselves.
Exactly.
And in the book of Isaiah, God shows how they were mixing the nation's practices with their own.
Yes.
He actually rebukes them for it. Talking about how y'all were making sacrifices.
Yes.
Right? Y'all are making sacrifices to me in the way in which I wanted you guys to do in the past. But you guys are also mixing this synchronizing it with all kind of stuff from the nation.
Right.
And then you're thinking that I'm gonna bless it.
Yes.
That I'm with it. When you are taking it's syncretism. You guys are taking the values and the practices of the nation, mixing it with the values and practices that I gave you.
Right.
And thinking that they're gonna work together. We see even in the book of Kings, I forget what king it was, that was essentially mixing them both together as well. So you see that in the scriptures, what destroys Israel is their idolatry, and the idolatry is usually them taking on the ethics and values and principles of the nation. Right. And then trying to say, oh, we're gonna fit that in with what God gave us. They'll either supplant what God gave them, or they'll mix it together, and God is not cool with either one.
Yes.